Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite animes, Boogiepop Phantom. Here's the DVD set that I own. Here's all the DVDs. So, if I had to rank it, it would be ranked number 2. Blue Gender being number 1. I reviewed that last time. This one, number 2. And, well, what is this show about? I first saw this show actually on the Funimation channel back in the day when Funimation channel was a thing. I don't know if it even is still a thing anymore, but you saw it on TV late at night. Like it would come on at like 1:30 a.m. or something. And I watched it. And it was so dark and creepy and weird. And these are the types of shows that I really like because if you like anime that is like comedic and funny and entertaining, this really isn't the type of anime for you. This is a very serious type of anime that really makes you think. You really have to be paying attention to every little detail. You can't expect to watch it and then understand everything that you saw in it. You would need to watch it multiple times. And those are the things that I like because that's also some of my favorite movies, if you're aware. Some of my favorite movies are Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire. You watch those, you really don't understand them. You don't know what's going on. Things take place out of order, and you have to try to piece together what's going on here. And that's like how this anime is. It's very dark. If you can see here, let's see, it's a reflection. There we go. You can see kind of how the animation style is very dark, very creepy type of style, and that's but the thing is, it's not because it's just an older anime. I don't remember what year it came out. It's not because it's just an older anime that it looks like that. 2001 it looks like. 2001. It's not because it's just an older anime. It's because it's intentionally meant to look like that for a very specific reason. So what is this show about? Well, it is about, the first thing you see is this column of light incident that happens. You see this column of light that goes from the ground all the way up to the sky. And the show follows the events around that time or after that time. Things will take place out of order in different episodes. Like each episode it's not quite independent of one another. Like they don't really follow the same characters on every single episode. There are some main characters that are followed throughout it. But each episode mostly focuses on a different set of characters. And it follows how they reacted to this column of light incident that happened. So, as you begin to watch the show, you begin to realize that this light incident that had happened gave people certain powers, changed them in some way, made things happen in their life. Like they could have had a dull, boring life, and they could have changed something drastically with them. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why it's called Boogiepop Phantom, because that is the other thing here. There's this creature. I don't even want to call it a creature. It's like this type of human. It's a human-looking type person. You can actually see it right here. There you go. You can see it on the front as well. Called Boogiepop, and it's the Angel of Death. And they say that the Angel of Death will come and take you away. However, as you begin to watch it, if you pay really close attention to it, the first time you encounter Boogiepop in the very first episode, if you pay attention to the voice of this character, and then you see Boogiepop on multiple episodes after that, it's a different voice. And you begin to, if you paid attention really closely, again, these are things you have to pay attention to. You may not even catch it the first time. You may need multiple times to actually catch it. I've seen this show, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times. If you really pay attention to the details, then you begin to see that Boogiepop and Boogiepop Phantom are two different entities, and they're reacting to certain things differently. And that actually it's not quite revealed, but it is something that you need to pay attention to, because there's a lot of things in it that are a bit of the unknown if you're not really paying attention. So each time this light happens, which you don't really know from watching the anime what happens, something in people's lives changes in some way. And there's one person who gets the ability to, let's see. There's multiple things that happen here. There's different abilities that people will possess, and different things that will happen as an outcome of this. And if you really want to know what happens during this, actually this DVD set comes with the actual live action movie. It's a Japanese movie, that's subtitles, so here's the characters. Now, I would not recommend watching this one first, because if you like something that makes you really think and is just a bit eerie, then I would say watch the anime first, because the movie actually takes place before the anime and actually reveals what happened during this column of light incident and why things are the way that they are. So let's talk about that now, because that is something that is, again, if you're interested so far, I would say stop it here, because this is where everything is going to be revealed. So, talking a little bit about the movie, and then this correlates with the anime. So, as you begin to watch the movie and everything becomes revealed here, there's a student by the name of Toka Miyashita, and she is just a standard schoolgirl, Japanese schoolgirl, and she has this alter personality called Boogiepop. And that's essentially who that is right there. She puts on a cloak, and she becomes the Angel of Death, Boogiepop. But it's very clear in the anime that they say that the Boogiepop Phantom, the Phantom one, doesn't actually kill people. It just takes them away. And we will get to that in just a moment. And the whole purpose of Boogiepop is to get rid of some of the evil in the world, because there is some evil known as the Manticore in this city in Japan where they reside. This Manticore is killing people and is eating them, and is being helped by another male student called Masami Saotome. And another Japanese schoolgirl, Nagi Kirima, is on the case to figure out what is going on here. All these characters are in the movie. They're all in the anime as well. They all play a role in the anime. However, at the very end of the movie, you see the column of light incident of what happens. Boogiepop essentially kills the Manticore. But the whole purpose of how the Manticore got there is also revealed in the movie. It's not revealed in the anime. What happens is there is this alien creature, which is like this human-looking person named Echoes. He cannot speak for himself. All he can hear is other people's voices, other people's thoughts and actions. He knows everything else about another person. And this is overwhelming. And he was a science experiment that had escaped the lab. And he was being taken care of by another schoolgirl. I forget what her name is, but she's not in the anime. And when they were doing experiments on him, they pretty much created a clone of him known as the Manticore. It's the complete opposite of him, which is why it's killing people, and it's just this evil creature. And by creature, I don't mean like this mythological type of creature. I mean, it looks like a human being. Okay? These are not things that... Everything is like human looking. So, he wants to get rid of the Manticore, and he wants to go back to his home planet, I guess, up in space, wherever it is. So Boogiepop, at the very end, aids him with that, because she traps the Manticore, and then Echoes, pretty much goes with the Manticore up into space, because, light and dark, you have to be as one. You can't be separated. So once you're together, they become together. This column of light incident happens, and they go up into space, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. And that's where the anime begins, pretty much, because you see this column of light incident. You know what happens there, but what happens during the column of light incident, not just the the manticore and echoes go up into space and just leave this earth. No, there is some residual energy from them that gets dispersed by anyone this light touches. When this column of light incident happens, there are some fragments of Echo's energy that come out into the city and infect certain people, and that's why they get these special abilities in the anime. So that is pretty much what it follows in the anime. You will see these abilities that people have, or how their life changed in some way. Because what happens once that column of light incident happened, the electricity turned off in the whole city for like a minute, came back. It probably wasn't even a minute, and then it all came back on. So that is where Boogiepop Phantom was born, from the original Boogiepop of Toka Miyashita, the student. Boogiepop Phantom is saving these kids who have these special abilities. Because during this column of light incident, Boogiepop Phantom, a clone of the original Boogiepop, as well as the Manticore Phantom, come about. Okay, so the Manticore Phantom, Boogiepop Phantom, pretty much are rivals. And Boogiepop Phantom, when you're watching it, it kind of seems like she's like evil and she's killing people, but she's actually saving them, because the reason why the whole anime is very dark is because there was this electromagnetic field that was created during this column of light incident that occurred, and they have to pretty much wait it out until it dissipates in order for things to go back to normal. But that's also when the Manticore Phantom is still out and alive and killing people, because it's a phantom. It can just teleport and go anywhere it wants, pretty much. It can kill people. So that's pretty much where that goes with that as well. And again, Nagakirima is also on the case as well. And then you meet another character named Manaka, which is this girl who cannot really speak for herself, and she has these butterflies. These butterflies represent people's memories, and when people encounter her, she will open up her hand, a butterfly will come out and touch them, and then they will see things that perhaps happened to them in the past, maybe something else that just like, what did I just see here? What did I just witness? And as it turns out, by the end of it, she actually absorbed some of Echo's power, this alien creature that came down. She absorbed some of Echo's power and became almost kind of like a clone of Echo's herself. And that is what Boogiepop needs to get rid of in this world, because there's still this residue of Echo's and the Manticore. You know, the Manticore Phantom, and then you have this girl who has some of Echo's power. You know, these were highly evolved human beings. That's also something else to mention here. These are highly evolved human beings, and that is why they kind of need to be gotten rid of in this world, because they are too evolved. The evolution has accelerated when this column of light incident happened. These certain people, evolution evolved too rapidly instead of naturally, and it created these anomalies that people don't know how to deal with. So by the end of it, Boogiepop gets rid of this little girl, essentially. Well, she's not really a little girl. She's actually pretty old, but she just looks like a little girl, and she rapidly ages by the end. Manaka with the butterflies, because she was the threat, because she had some of Echo's power, and she was still contributing to the Manticore Phantom being there and the electromagnetic field issues in the city. So that is the first 11 episodes. This is a 12-episode anime. So in the very last episode, things take a very different type of twist, because suddenly you watch it and it seems like it ends on episode 11. You know, everything's concluded, and then you get on the episode 12. Everything is like bright and cheery almost. Everything is different. Everything you're watching it just seems different. It's like, what? Okay, why is this so different here? It just seems like a normal day, because the electromagnetic field is done. All that sort of stuff has happened. All the people that Boogiepop Phantom saved underground when this electromagnetic field happened, they should hopefully come back to themselves, because, as I said, the Boogiepop Phantom was saving them from the Manticore because they had these special abilities. Because the Manticore wants to feed on those who have these special abilities. So, given the last episode, and then suddenly one of the detectives on the case, which is like a friend of Nagi Kirima, who was one of the major detectives figuring a lot of this out, he was, oh, that's right. Let me back up for a moment. So right before the electromagnetic field dissipates in the city, when Boogiepop is saying to the Manticore Phantom, the electromagnetic field is dissipating, you and I will be gone soon, because both of them exist because of the electromagnetic field that happened in the city. So once they are gone, they won't exist anymore. And that's pretty much what happens at the end of episode 11, essentially. In episode 12, there is no Boogiepop Phantom, but at one of the episodes, you can see the Manticore Phantom as the electromagnetic field is dissipating. You can see the Manticore Phantom go into this detective that is friends with Nagi Kirima. And you probably don't really think anything of it, you don't really pay attention to it, but then that actually plays a role in the last episode because he actually had the Manticore Phantom inside of him, which through the anime was representative of the male student that was with the Manticore in the movie, which is Masami Satome. So that's the physical representation that he takes in the anime. The Manticore Phantom takes in the anime. So then you see the real Boogiepop, Toka Miyashita, come and get rid of the Manticore Phantom. For real, permanently this time. And that's pretty much where it ends. Everything ends pretty happily there. So it is interesting because you get to that last episode and you're just kind of wondering why it's like that. So it is a very complex type of anime. You probably really wouldn't understand all that unless you see the movie, or even if you read some of the manga as well, because even then this doesn't really fully get the full picture. You'll probably need to read the manga as well, which I never did. But I watched the movie and then I kind of inferred certain things, like, okay, I understand. And you pretty much see echoes briefly in the anime, very, very briefly. You can see when Manaka's saying that she absorbed his power. So very, very complex, and I like it like that because it gets me thinking. It gets me thinking, like, I want to figure out what is next, what is going on here. There is one episode that I wanted to talk about. It is episode number 4, My Fair Lady. This guy right here, okay, this guy right here. So, okay, that's probably one of my favorite episodes, probably is my favorite episode. There are a few episodes that I really like, but that one probably tops it. It's about this student. This actually takes place before the Column of Light incident happened. You follow this male student. He's kind of a nerd. No one really likes him. But he has this computer girlfriend. On his computer, he takes care of her. He feeds her. He gets really creepy with her because, like, oh, that dress looks nice on you. And then he licks the screen, kisses the screen. It's just really, really creepy. It's really, really creepy. And then he stumbles across this drug that people are taking in the city called Type S. And he doesn't really take it, like he puts a drop onto a candle and then the flame turns red. And then he does that at work as well. He works at a restaurant. And one of the new female employees there, she's a kid as well, this, high school student. He starts to become interested in her, starts to like her, but he begins to get confused, his virtual girlfriend world with the real world and this girl. And he's like, I thought I told you to wear the dress. I like the dress so much better on you, or the skirt, whatever it is. And he starts to get confused. And this starts to creep out the girl working at the restaurant, obviously. And, things just start going really, really weird, really, really crazy with this guy's life. And it turns out that this girl that he's interested in, who works at his restaurant, actually has another boyfriend. So then he goes on his computer and it's like, I want to get rid of her boyfriend. It's like, trash her boyfriend, delete. And then he sees he sees the boyfriend, you know, he's like, I thought I got rid of him, you know, and then he just goes totally crazy, because the column of light incident happens and the power goes out. His computer game shuts off right in the middle of all this. He tries to boot it back up, he boots it back up, and everything is just messed up on his computer. This girl's messed up, and he just goes crazy because that was his life. This computer girlfriend was his life, and he just goes totally crazy after that. And yeah, it's just a really, really crazy episode. If you want to watch any episode, watch that episode 4. You can actually let me show you. Where is it? Okay. So on YouTube, it's actually available on YouTube if you would like to check it all out here. Let me show you. Here's the Boogiepop Phantom dub by. There is the YouTube channel. Here's all the episodes. They're all watched because I just quickly went through them right before I reviewed it to refresh my memory. But yeah, here's all the series here, and you can watch it and you can get an understanding. So they do leave hints here and there if you've never watched the movie before. But I kind of just reviewed everything. And also one more thing I wanted to mention here. The voice actor for him, you know, he did a really good job. He makes him sound so creepy. And there's actually an episode of one of my top 3 animes, number 3, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. The second season, actually. There's an episode on the second season. The second episode on the second season, where I'm fairly certain is about this creepy guy, and it's played by the same voice actor. It's like this voice actor must just play creepy guys. He really must. So I will review Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, one of my top 3, number 3, at a later point. I guess the last thing to mention is the soundtrack. I own the soundtrack. As you can see, this is the official Japanese soundtrack. There's no back to it. That's what's unique about it. As you can see, there's no back to it. Let me open this sucker up. Here's the first CD. The second CD you kind of saw. Boogiepop Phantom, Disc 1, Disc 2. Now, I love the music in this. It's very creepy. It's very weird. But they left out some of the weirdest tracks from this soundtrack. I'm so disappointed. I really am. Because there are some really creepy soundtracks. Like there's one at the beginning of episode 2 of the anime. And you hear that quite frequently. But it's not on the soundtrack. Yeah, here's Boogiepop Phantom. If you look, it looks a little bit evilish. Whereas regular Boogiepop doesn't look like that. It has a different look, has a different voice. So, yeah, I'm just really upset that the music is not on there. Okay, yeah, here's like the regular Boogiepop. Okay, if you look at that, and then, darn it, Boogiepop Phantom. So, looks a little different if you actually see it, but, oh, here's another good image of Boogiepop Phantom. Kind of evilish, and then right on the other side is the regular one. Anyway, that was all. So, yeah, one of my favorite animes because it's just so bizarre, so weird, so creepy, so dark. 12 episodes, really not long. So if you're interested in something a bit creepy, a bit weird, something that really makes you think, even though I just revealed everything to you pretty much. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that I missed because this is a very complex series. But yeah, let me know if you've seen the show, if you're interested in it, or maybe you could never grasp it. Maybe I explained some of it to you. But yeah, let me know what you think, 'cause this is a fun one. Anyway, I'll see you later for another anime review, probably next month, where we review Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, the first season. Only the first season. The second season will come at a later time. Because that one has 2 seasons, and they're both different. So, anyway, you take care. I'll catch you later. Bye.